You ready? All right. Tell me your first one. We're talking near present.
Near present, yes. If I study English every day for 2 weeks, I will speak English better.
Oh, that's of course. Okay, I'll tell you mine. If I finish all my homework, all university homework, during the week, I will have more free time on the weekends.
It's cool.
Yeah. All right, near future.
And future. If I did solve some tasks for my partners, I will start a new project next month.
Next month. All right, that's very good. Okay, so for mine is if I practice my Russian every day, I will understand more my lectures in the university. So maybe after a couple months. Okay. And long run. Last one.
Long, and I didn't this sentence maybe for your example.
Okay, so my example for long run is if I save enough money, I will start my own business.
Yes.
So we're talking about something that it will take you time.
Okay, understand. If I study some new if I study new skills, I will work on how I can say not at home, probably when I work on home. How this say
Working at home.
working at home, not at home, when
Like distant working?
yes, distant working. Yes.
Or online working?
Online, yes.
So you want to work where? Like at the company or?
Yes, if I have new skills, I will work on distance work.
I understand now. So you want to work at home?
Now I work in the office. Sometimes I work at home.
So what type of skills would you need to work at home, for example?
I think I can have skills for maybe some program.
So for example, learn a new program, right? Learn
Yes.
new language tools, I think they're called, right?
Yes, and language too.
Well, that's a very good goal. Maybe you should write that out. Okay, so the thing about this is, for example, you now have like these 3 goals, right? So you can like focus really hard on the first one. So for example, your first goal was to study more English, right?
Studying, yes.
To get better at it. So let's say in the next 2 weeks, like besides your lessons, besides your homework, and besides the classes you have with me and the other teachers, you can let's take 15 minutes on a Saturday, or like when you're free at work, and let's say let's make some sentences, because writing is very good for improving your English. That, or listening to, for example, a podcast or something that is slower but is still in English, something that you can just listen. Okay. And after 2 weeks, you will be like, okay, I think it's helped me. Let's do that for 2 more weeks, and like that, and like that, and like that. And when you notice you've been doing this all this time, and that goal, perfect. Okay. For the near future, it's something like you can do let's say once a week. Once a week, you say, for example, mine, I say if I practice my Russian, let's say once a week for 1 hour, I'll be like, okay, I will take a textbook and I will study my grammar. So after maybe a couple months, I will get better at Russian.
Yes.
Well, at speaking Russian and understanding Russian. And for the long run, now this is something that you can really focus on, but you still have it in your mind. So for example, I say if I save enough money, I will start my own business. So for example, let's say now I will take, 10-20% of my income, of what I earn, working or in side jobs, and I will put that in a saving account. And after 2 years, I will see how much money I have. And it's like, oh, this is enough money to maybe open a small restaurant, or open, I don't know, online classes or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. So for example, you see, so here the thing is that you focus on the near present, you think about the near future, and you don't forget the long run. So that way, like you have these three goals that you might be able to achieve. All right. So I think that's pretty much for the class. I'm sorry if I spoke too fast.
No, no, it's okay.
I need people to remind me to slow down a little bit. Especially me, for me, when I speak to my friends in Russian, like I also like, oh, they're speaking so fast, I don't understand what's happening, and I do the same thing in English. I'm so sorry.
It's very interesting because maybe I can't say some things, but I understand you know all the information.
Oh no, I know you understand me. Like you have a very excellent, good level of English. You have not let me down. I can see that. Why are you in the intermediate high level? Like most people will just be lost. But I was going to ask you, like, do you like to be like corrected during the class, or would you prefer me to do it like at the end?
I think for me, correct on the class.
On the class.
On the class,
It's
yes.
better. Yeah, I also like more that way. I will have.
And it's normal practice for me because I study and you teacher.
I also study. I have to study this.
Yes, study. No,
We all study.
students. Yes, it's normal for me.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you're the student, I'm the teacher. I feel like we can say like we're just friends and we're practicing English. Maybe someday we'll do it in Russian. Who knows?
Yes.
All right. So, just a couple things, Roman. I can see that you are very good at conjugations of verbs. You know, past simple, present simple. Like you know it. So that one, I'm very good. Excellent job. But you should try to work a little bit more on your articles and your pronouns. You know, I know like it's difficult because in Russian you don't really have them, but in English we use them and they're very important. Like they help you put some more context into the sentence, and like you can really tell, for example, if a person is like a native speaker or not, depending on how many articles and pronouns he uses. So, for example, that just give it a little read sometimes. You know, let's say some articles, some pronouns. Besides that, very good. I can see you really understand the first conditional. We didn't practice too much the second, so maybe, you know, go back to the lessons and read it. I need you to be able to tell me, for example, okay, second conditional, we use it when we talk about imaginary situations, and the form is like if plus past simple, comma, would. Like I need you to really remember that because there are more conditionals. I think there's one more. So it's better if you like understand, like first conditional, we use it here. Second conditional, we use it here. So that's very important. And besides that, I can say like you have been studying, so very good job. And I hope we can meet again with your classmates on Sunday, Saturday?
Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
Excellent. I think that's it, right? We still have a couple minutes. Like, you can tell me, for example, like, I didn't ask you, why do you want to learn English? That's very important. Like, what's the reason?
The first way I start to study English because it's help for my mind. Really,
It's not for work.
For work. Now situation, I think the situation changed, and maybe it's not to help for work, but maybe it's help me for job if I work on distance.
On distance. Oh yeah, that's very true. And I also think, like, for example, people who have jobs like, you know, like managers, or what was your job again? You didn't say it was manager, it was something else.
Yeah, I middle manager. Middle manager for project.
So for example, there's still some countries that still make business with Russia, like maybe China, Dubai, you know, so I believe like if you still there might be some opportunities when, you know, someone comes with a project but he's from Dubai, he speaks English, So it's like, hey, Roman speaks English. Yeah, so maybe.
Really, it's opportunity.
Yeah. But I'm also very impressed because it's
And I like travel. And I have been in 18 countries, different countries, and it's helped me.
yeah, it's very good. Are you planning to maybe learn a different language besides English?
Repeat please.
Are you planning to learn a different language?
Yes,
Or one more language?
No, I think the first I can study English. Good, yes, and then maybe I need language, maybe program language.
Program language. You can learn how to read Python or something.
Yes, maybe. It's language too.
It's a language too. You're absolutely right. I also want to learn something about programming, developing like web pages, because I think it's important. And nowadays, like it doesn't matter if you're like, I don't know, like a doctor or a manager or anything. You should know a little bit about programming in general.
Right.
It's very good to always know something else. And like, how has been your journey learning English? Has it been easy, difficult? Do you like it? Like, do you have something maybe you want to do with learning English? I don't know.
I think it's normal. Learning English, it's normal for me, but maybe I don't have regular study this language.
Because of work.
Because work
Time.
different, really. But I want and I have studied English and I studied this language how I can. And
You're doing an excellent job, Roman. Like, I'm really proud of you. You've been very good. I think like if you keep going like this, couple months, maybe like a year, and you'll be like solid.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for, solid. Like for example, me, I remember I began studying English when I was in school, and like in most countries, English in school is bad. They tell you like just a little bit, and you're like, and I was like, I want to learn more. So I began to get into these online groups, for games. I was in school, so I have time to game. And all these people were like speaking English, and I was like, oh yeah, I speak English a little bit too. And like after a couple of years of speaking with them, listening, and also me learning, I was like, oh, I really like this language. And it's so cool to be able to, for example, this guy is from India, but he speaks English, so I can communicate with him. This guy is from Australia, he also speaks English, I can speak with him, and I like that. I really like that about different languages.
You have very good pronouns, and
okay, like I can tell you, like as a teacher, I know that my level is like intermediate high because I have heard English from Russians even, that they have like traveled to US, they live there for like 5 years and they really speak the language like very well. So I'm also trying to study a little bit more now that I have you guys for classes. I want to also improve my vocabulary, maybe learn some new words, new articles, new adjectives. So I hope I can not disappoint you. I can really feel like the teacher, So okay, Roman, I guess that's all the time we have for today.
okay.
Thank you a lot for coming. If not, I will just be sitting here doing some videos.
No, I